Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Divine Masculine, welcome into your weekly reading as we normally do. Today is the 11th. Give me a second, guys. Let me check. Yes, the 11th of December 2021. We are nearly at the end of 2021. Divine Masculine, and let's see what your present energies around this portion in time for a week, 10 days max, is talking to us about in this twin flame connection. And will, of course, another reading will be done for the Divine Feminine too. Okay. So let's see, guys. Let's see what it is that we are looking at for you. Let's call upon our guide, angel, ancestor, spirit guide, and my divine source into this reading for you, Divine Masculine. And let's see. Self-care, moving, beautiful. Okay. So you're coming to some kind of a place of understanding that you have to move from difficult situations where you possibly have ignored yourself, right? Because you haven't had time for some you did not pay attention to yourself, for some you lacked energy, maybe for some money, whatever that situation can be. Right, where you could not, new exercise program, where you could not really look after your own need, right? Some of you guys could have been very busy doing other things, right? Dietary change, but now you're realizing that it's important for you. Just as a human being, forget about the journey, forget about love, forget about everything else. Just as a human being, and this is my realization too. I'm not a divine masculine, but we all have masculine and feminine energies in us. I have worked my entire life, outdoor, indoor, as a professional, as a mother, as a wife, right? So we all go through those moments in our life or phases where we think that, okay, you know what? It's okay, we are carrying on with our lives. Our limbs are working, our health is okay. And we just don't pay attention. We don't pay attention to our food, to the way we look maybe at times. Giving ourselves enough time to rest, to recuperate, to rejuvenate, right? So, and it's not because we don't want to, but because somewhere we haven't had that capacity to balance ourselves, right? Where we give more importance to ourselves, or even a little bit of importance, even that amount of time we haven't given to ourselves. Right? Because that time we felt, we should look into something else, maybe professional, maybe personal, family, children, extended family, colleagues, whatever, right? So that little bit of time in that 24 hours period in a day, we haven't given ourselves. And it's just not with you, Divine Masculine. It's with each one of us, right? That we really haven't taken our health into consideration, right? We have not really paid attention to what we eat, how we perform, what we do in our daily lives, because we take our health for granted, right? Somewhere, everything is going fine. My doctor just did the annual on me and everything came out. The results were okay. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have hypertension. I don't have this. I don't have that. So I'm okay. No. yes, you may be okay. I'm not saying you're not okay. But what I'm trying to say is that even if you think you're okay, you still have to continue keeping a vigilance on your own self, right? That part of the story where you're not, maybe you haven't given time for your diet. What kind of diet is good for you? What is that you need to pay attention to? Maybe there are certain things doesn't suit your body, right? Doesn't suit your metabolism, or exercise, right? Something that brings back your right, revitalizes your health, your wealth. Your health is your wealth, right? So something about that whole situation is what I'm feeling, guys, is that you're coming to a point of understanding that you definitely have to engage in something that makes you a much healthier person and a wealthier person. Not in terms of monetary situations, but more so in terms of your own balance in life. That's important, right? Look, self-care, that's the bottom again. So that's what Spirit is saying. That, guys, whatever you'll have done for X amount of time, you have looked into that, you have paid more attention to wherever you had to. It's now time to pay attention to yourself. It's very important that you look after yourself, take care of your health, like I said, because health is your wealth, remember, right? So you have to learn to take care, right? Self-care, because see, keep the faith, memories, because there are a lot of things that you have within yourself, right, that you want to perhaps fulfill in life. But if you don't look after yourself and keep faith that those memories you have with somebody or with some situation, if it has to be brought into fruition, then you have to look after your health, self-care. You have to take care of yourself, very important, right? Because you could have a lot of things that you want to still do, right? You want to still fulfill, you still want to bring a lot of things into fruition, but you definitely need that amount of courage, you need that amount of energy, right? Strength in order to do all that. So in order to do all that, you need that self-care. As simple as that, right? Now let's dig into the reading, guys, and see what's going on. Seeking and finding. So you're looking for some kind of information, maybe. You're searching for something that will make you happy. Something that, because then you have hobbies. So you're definitely looking for, some kind of a situation in your life. If you can engage in some kind of an activity that will bring back, that will keep you good, keep you fit, keep you healthy, right? Something that you would like to engage yourself in, something that is of an interest to you, right? Hobby is something that you do. It's your passion. You don't want to earn money out of it. It's your creativity. It's some of you guys could be singing. Some of you can be painting, prose, poems, anything that is your hobby, reading, writing, right? Any kind of art, any kind of creativity. So you are definitely searching for something in your life, because then you have emotions, right? That that kind of soothes your emotional feeling, something that makes you emotionally happy. If you can do something creative in your life, something that brings back the joy, that fulfillment, that ecstasy, right? Where you're like, oh, I have done that. It could be very amateurish. It could be a very, very basic stuff that you have created or will create. But somewhere that kind of an situation fulfills you, brings back your joy, your emotion, your happiness, right? And you don't have to tell the world. It's just within you, right? You don't have to show your art to the world. You don't have to show anything to the world. It's just you by yourself. That's what Spirit is telling you. That's also a part of your self care, right? Where you're not bored with life. Some of you could have retired. Some of you guys could be going for, because now vacations are coming, so you might have time off. So some of you can get bored at home, right? So something that keeps your interest alive, something that gives you back your fulfillment, emotional joy. So let's look at seeking and finding. So there is something that you are definitely putting your heart and soul into at this point in time, to get more information, to get more knowledge, to seek something that brings back that creativity of happiness in yourself, right? Something that's creative, something that is fulfilling to you. So seeking and finding, you're definitely working on some story in your life. Let's see here. And then we have hobbies. Okay, let's see. Please talk to me about the hobbies here. Something that nourishes you, nurtures you, right? You nurture that hobby. You nourish that sense of feeling good in yourself, right? More so. Let's look at emotions. Please talk to me about emotions here. Alright, and we'll continue with the same deck, guys, so that we will find out more information here as more knowledge is revealed by our spirit world. Okay, the bottom is the Eight of Swords as of now. So there is something in yourself, but you don't know what you can do about it. It's all up in the head. You want to do that kind of a situation, but you don't know whether you can really manage to do that. That's because some of you could be feeling restricted with certain situations in your life, right? Some of you could be restricted with communication. You're not talking about it. Some of you could be restricted, feeling left out in a very toxic situation, because this is a lot of toxicity. See, with the Eight of Swords, guys, I always tell it's more so self-sabotage, right? Because if you look at the card in here, you see this person, right? It's a woman figure, but it's tied very loosely. Yes, there are strings around, and the Eight Swords and everything, but it's very loose. So what they say with the Eight of Swords card, normally in a tarot reading, guys, is that it is self-sabotage that you have, implied upon your thought process, upon your logical and rational part of the story, where you feel that, oh yeah, maybe I want to do it, but how? It's not possible. I've got so many things. I've got so many responsibilities. I've got so many, so many, so many. So all that so many adds up to all that sabotage. After which you're like, I don't know. Do I want to even think about that? Maybe some of you are in that situation where the thought is coming and you're immediately pushing it away because you don't want to even think about it. Because inside of your head, you have already decided it's not a possibility. It's not a possibility. So you kind of keep pushing it away. And that is also a form of self-sabotage because you're not giving yourself any kind of permission to even look for options in your life, to seek more than what you think is even a possibility in your life, right? So with this information, let's get into the reading. So with seeking and finding, guys, you have the Hermit in the reverse. Boom, we are stuck with this person. The Hermit in the reverse is you, who had lost his way, feeling isolated, feeling lonely, feeling deprived of every situation in life. You know, it's the character of somebody who has lost his way, has not been able to focus on the right path, has not been able to work in the right way, right? Because this person hasn't had time or did not give time to himself to do some soul searching before making or taking any calls, any judgment calls on life in general, right? So this is how we start this reading. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So with the Hermit in the reverse and the Nine of Pentacles, what I'm getting, guys, you have lost your way towards your own abundance. You did not work for it. You have not really made an effort to see, because with the Eight of Swords, you felt this was not even a possibility. So you did not even give yourself that time or that energy or even that kind of a scope, right, to understand how to do it. Because you just presumed, boom, it's not possible. You close the door, you shut the case, and that's it. And that's because of that situation. You had lost your way towards your own freedom, financial freedom, rewards of your hard work, enjoying life, living in the laps of luxury, having things for yourself, not having to rely on anybody to do anything for you, right? But you just did not. Like I said, you did not even think about it because you just presumed it's not a possibility, right? So you did not look for options, you did not look for alternatives, nothing. You just left it at that. And then you have the Knight of Swords, right? So with this energy, things are changing here, right? With this energy, you're seeking a new direction in life, right? And this time around, you want things in the right way, right? You are being very honest about your own situation in life. We'll find out more as we get into the reading. There could be some information that could be coming to you towards your freedom as well. But we'll see that, okay? Maybe that is what you are waiting for, or maybe you want to communicate with your divine feminine who is in the Nine of Pentacles energy, and she is waiting to receive some information from you that earlier you have not been able to deliver because you did not, you lost your way. You could not tell the truth. It can be anything, but we'll see what's going on here. But there is some kind of a movement that's happening here. Okay, a movement that is building up in here. Because with the Knight, there is some kind of an action that is definitely building up here. Okay. Please talk to me about the Hermit in the reverse. Maybe you want to tell the truth now. Divine Masculine. It also can be that. Yeah, with the Hermit in the reverse, you get the Nine of Swords. Okay. So clearly, you're not happy. You know you have lost your way. You have done a lot of things wrong, right? You have, like 9 and 9, you have not worked for your freedom. You have got stuck. You have been thinking. You have been, having nightmares about your own situation because you did not give yourself time to understand yourself better. Right? So that is where you have been absolutely in anguish. In anguish. Okay. So there is this energy, right, where you're coming to understand the whole situation. That if you had, now if you see the card, guys, I'm going to show it to you. Okay. If you had delved into the situation, if you had been on the right track, you would have received your answer. So there is something within you which could be the cause of your guilt, and it could be related very well, it could be related with something of your past. And when I say past, I'm not talking about the twin flame. I'm talking about something of your personal experience of your past situation, maybe when you were a child, or you were a young adult, growing up, teens, anything, right? That kind of an experience is something that completely maybe is the reason for your nightmare for some of you. It keeps haunting you, it keeps coming back to you. It gives trouble to you when you haven't taken time to understand the situation as to why it happens and why is it being repeated in your case. That's because, again, you did not work on that situation. Right? You did not work on that situation, and because of this situation, you have started to feel very lonely within your own soul. Right? Because your soul has been hurting. It's more about your soul energy I'm getting here. Your soul has been hurting with a lot of pain and grief and guilt, where you felt completely devoid of any kind of emotions, of any kind of happiness, any kind of love, anything. You felt devoid. That's because you have lost your way and you did not know what to do with that story, right? Where it is the Two of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles, where Spirit is saying, whatever happened with this partnership here, that is the cause of your guilt with your Divine Feminine. That could have been the cause of your anxiety with the Divine Feminine, where you could not tell anybody, but you have been completely being haunted with a lot of sorrow, guilt, nightmare, panic attacks, that kind, anxiety, where you have not been speaking about the situation, but you felt completely devoid, like I said. You felt completely devoid of any kind of attachment, more so. Right? So here it is, there is a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. Right? That you perhaps wanted, but you could not get into that story because, like I said, you could not understand yourself. So you were reeling under a lot of stress because you never took time to understand your own self. like who you are and what you are all about. Divine masculine, right? And because you haven't understood yourself, you haven't understood this partnership, right? And that's where there has been a lot of stress within you, because you must have felt somewhere that, oh, I'm getting into this relationship, but I'm being forced to get into this relationship because what, I mean, but I don't want this. But at the same time, I'm feeling guilty that if I don't get into this relationship, then, I might lose out on something good in my life. So it's a feeling, what I'm getting, guys, it's a feeling that you didn't want to be in this relationship. That's because you didn't understand who you are and what you are about. And you felt that it was being forced onto you. And that created a lot of pressure and anxiety over this partnership for you as well, right? Which is where Spirit is saying that whatever happened, let it go. Let it go, right? Start a new cycle and end with the Ten of Pentacles. Because if you start something now, this is the time. There is a new cycle in the offing. Like, whatever has happened, if you can work on that situation between the two of you, between the twins, come to an agreement, compromise on that situation, and start something brand new, which is where a long-term prospect is waiting for this solid relationship. This relationship will become solid. This relationship has every chance of becoming very stable and very solid. But you will have to take that initiative on this situation and see how creatively you can work on this solid relationship now moving forward. Divine masculine, the Two of Swords. Yeah, you have to put in effort. You cannot sit in that stalemate energy anymore, because if you sit in that stalemate energy, you will not be able to move forward. So you have to take a decision, because there is a new cycle that is waiting to happen. So if you ignore this cycle of change, this time goes by and you get nothing. Then you're back in that stalemate energy again. So right now, it's time to get up and take some action over this situation and see what you can do. Please talk to me about the Nine of Pentacles, because over here is the situation of one of you probably, or two of you probably trying to come together. We'll see. So with the Nine of Pentacles, you get the Devil and the Death. Look. So what they are saying, liberate yourself from all restrictions. Free yourself. Nine of Pentacles. Divine masculine. Free yourself and work towards that long-term project, because it's a very stable relationship that Spirit is saying that if you don't work on this now, you lose this time and then you can't do anything about it. So this is a good time. This is the time that's coming up in favor of the solid relationship. So take advantage of this time period and free yourself from all kind of burdens, monetary burdens, financial situations, anything that is upsetting you or has been upsetting you, where you felt stuck, maybe in a very toxic relationship. And it's time to liberate yourself from that toxicity in your life. Very, very clear message. Very clear message, guys. Okay, so time to liberate, guys. Time to liberate yourself. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, right? and the King of Cups. Yeah, and you could be getting information. Somebody could be delivering more information about a new start, the Ace of Pentacles, or about money, right? Where you have to act very emotionally intelligent in here and not allow people to manipulate you as they want to. So you could be receiving some quick information here. We'll see. But something that will help you to liberate yourself from a very difficult situation in your life. Let's look at the Knight of Swords here. Please talk to me about the Knight of Swords. The Magician. Yeah. There's going to be communication here. The Six of Cups. The Lovers and the Six of Cups. Yeah. You could possibly be having a communication with somebody that could be your divine feminine, or if you have a karmic relationship, that could be also a part of that communication here. But it will be a very quick and frank and honest communication that's building up in here, guys. Please talk to me about the Magician here. That will allow you to liberate yourself, divine masculine. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Yeah, that will allow you to help move forward. Right? You could be working on this story of expansion now and communication both together, right? And you're kind of building up on that story, right? You're kind of building up. You could be getting a lot. Okay, with this Page of Wand energy, guys, it's a beautiful energy, don't get me wrong. But the problem with this energy and the Magician is that there could be some amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some amount of, like you could be, your mind is so sharp at this point, your intellect is so sharp at this point that you could be getting into a lot of new ideas. Oh, this is this, that, this, and that can actually, again, create problems, because then you wouldn't know which idea is the right for you. So with this energy, be very careful. If you're getting ideas or somebody is coming over and giving you new ideas, take it. Don't refuse it. But at the same time, because there is also an element of risk involved in here, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a lot of action. So that's what they're saying. Go slow on that idea. Think about it, marinate over that, because don't just jump into something right away. But if somebody is talking about something, there is a risk involved. Think about how much of that risk you can take. What's your capacity to take that risk? How much of risk can you, bear to withstand in the situation? So you have to allow yourself time to marinate that thought before you move forward, right? But you are definitely moving forward. You're definitely liberating yourself. You're definitely ready to start this brand new solid relationship with your twin. But you have to be a little bit more careful as you receive ideas, information, and then check to see for yourself which is the idea or which is the information that will suit your purpose in life better, is more what I'm getting, right? So seek for more information, right? Seek and find more knowledge about the whole situation. That's what they're saying. Don't just jump into it just when you hear and you're excited and you're like, okay, let's get this going and so on. No. Take your time. That's what they're saying. Take your time. Please talk to me about seeking and finding, right? Take your time. There is an element of risk involved a year from now. Yeah. See, it will take you time. Okay? It's not going to happen, like I said. Take your time. It's not going to happen within the next few weeks. You will start to work on this story within the next few weeks, right, of this month, but the whole thing will culminate or take a year. That's what I'm getting, right? So, because you're looking for more information, you're searching for more things, you're going slow and steady, you're making progress, but it's going to take you some time. Like I said, within the next few weeks, yeah, there will be a compromise. Okay, there you go. Okay. Forgiveness, compromise, say yes to that within the next few weeks. So, as soon as that compromise happens, and you can liberate yourself. Now, that compromise could be with your karmic situation if you have one, or it also can be a compromise between you and your twin, right? So once that compromise is done and over, then you're ready to move forward. Okay, and that is going to take you about a year's time to get the whole thing in the right place, getting hold of the whole stability factor. We'll see. Okay, let's move on to hobbies. You get the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and Temperance. So technically, you have not been able to pursue anything that you are interested in, because of your duties, your responsibilities, your lifestyle, your stress, your burnt out pressure, everything that was on your head, where you feel that somewhere you had also not been able to compromise with your own health. You have not given yourself adequate time for your own energy, for your own self, where you feel relaxed, where you feel happy doing what you want to without having to surround yourself with a number of activities dedicated to serving other people. Right? So that is where this situation is kind of cropping up, because the Eight of Cups and Ten of Wands, you were not able to go anywhere. That's the chapter that you want to close now. And you will be closing because you have learned your lesson here. Right? You have learned. It's a cycle that's completing, where you haven't been able to get what you rightfully deserve in life. Your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment, because you have been breaking your back, working and dedicating your loyalty and support to serve other people. And in the event, you have compromised with your emotions too. You haven't paid emotion, you haven't had your emotions in place. You did not pay attention to yourself, your balance, your harmony, where you feel good about your own self, right? You haven't, because like I said, you have broken your back. And that's because you, again, don't get me wrong, it's because, guys, you have, there are two things. A is public image, where you felt that it's very important for you to maintain a public image in front of other people who are closely associated with you in your life. Okay, so you felt that if you don't work hard enough, if you don't provide that support and money and everything to the people you are connected with, then they are going to, kind of not be happy about you. So there's a public image that you could not abandon. Right? Second of all, what you could not abandon was your part of the story that concerned your self-esteem. You went and worked very hard, right? Because you wanted to prove. Don't get me wrong, guys, but I'm reading the card. You wanted to prove that you can do a lot of things, right? Even if that means that you are stuck. You cannot abandon any situation, but you continue to work hard because you want to prove to other people how good you are. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just reading the cards in here, guys. So don't get me wrong, okay? So therefore, what has happened is that sense of being incomplete, that sense of feeling incomplete, that sense of feeling dissatisfied with life in general was because you had not achieved your own satisfaction. So, how can you feel satisfied with any situation in your life when internally you are not a happy camper? Right? So, this is exactly what has been going on in your case, Divine Masculine. Please talk to me about the Eight of Cups. You wanted to leave. Okay, again, see justice. This is when injustice has happened because you have not been able to clear your karma. You got stuck, right? You got stuck. Yeah, the High Priestess, and internally, subconsciously, you don't talk about it, but you know about it. That you have not been able to do justice to your own self. To your own self. That's important to understand, guys. So when you're not able to do justice to your own self, A, you are unhappy, B, you feel dissatisfied, and C, you don't want to trust anybody because you cannot trust your own self, because you know you haven't given yourself justice or you haven't worked for that. Right? So this is where there is a cycle that's completing. Please talk to me about the Ten of Wands. You have only been working for other, like I said, serving other people. There's nothing wrong about that, guys. But when you don't give justice to yourself, you cannot make others happy. Forget about doing anything for them. Because that means you're going on the opposite direction of your own justice. Right? When you don't want to do that, but you're still being forced to do that because you feel obligated to prove your worth. Please talk to me about the Ten of Wands. So this is where, you lost your emotional balance. Please talk to me about the Ten of Wands here. Yeah, exactly. The Wheel of Fortune. You want to change this. This period is changing. Right? Money, everything that you have not been able to do justice. Yeah, you want to move out. The Chariot. You want to take on a different route altogether. You had this cycle is closing. With the 10 and the wheel, you're closing this cycle where there has been injustice that you have done to yourself. Forget about what other people have contributed. Because I believe, this is me again, guys. I believe that when people say, oh, this one has done this to me and that is why I'm in this position, or that one has done this to me and that is why I'm in this position, no. You are in this position because you have done this to yourself. I believe in this, that no matter what your situation in life is, guys, if you want justice for yourself, nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. Because that's what Spirit is telling you here. And this is where temperance, you have to balance, get back your balance. And balance will come back. Once you realize, once you go through this cycle of life and finish and close this chapter, you will get back your balance. Please talk to me about temperance. You will compromise with your own injustice that you had, you had compromised with your own injustice. Right? You had really compromised with your own injustice because you thought that was the way of life. Right? The Five of Swords, you have learned a lesson. You have learned your lesson that this cannot be it. If the Five of Swords is always a lesson about an empty victory. That whatever you have done here, what did you get out of it? What was the net result? Was there any profit or was there a loss? There was an empty victory. So you had compromised with an empty victory. You had compromised on the fact that you don't want justice, or that justice is not made for you. That was a wrong compromise, right? So you learned your lesson with the Two of Pentacles, where you're trying to come back into balance again. You're trying hard because you know, it's like it's that fact, it's that energy, guys, that where you have learned your lesson and now you're trying to again straighten back your own situation, come back into balance, right? But it's taking you time because it's not easy, because you're going through a cycle of life here, right? So yeah, it's not just like you get up in the morning and you're like, okay, whatever happened, right now I'm feeling in balance totally. No, that's not how we work, or human beings work. So yeah, it does take time, right? It takes time because you have learned a lesson that whatever you have given your time, your energy, your money, your attention was resulted in a hollow victory. Where you had compromised with your injustice, still what you got back was a hollow victory from where you're trying to remove yourself out from and come back into balance with judgment, where where you will feel stable again, where there's a rebirth. You're trying to come out of that situation. It's going to take you time, guys. It's not going to be easy. Like I said, yeah, the 10 of Swords. Again, there's a cycle, right? So this is 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. Two cycles are closing at the same time. So it's going to be a tough situation for you. And that's the reason, in order for a new situation to begin in your life, for that rebirth to happen, it's going to take you time to find the right footing for yourself. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay? Because you are moving out of an old cycle of life here. Please talk to me about the hobbies. So it's not going to be easy, but again, it's time consuming. You have to be patient. That's what I'm trying to tell you here, guys. You have to be patient. Reconsider. Yeah. Reconsider your decisions in life again. Don't stop. Don't stop doing that. Okay? So before you do anything, reconsider your decision with the Two of Pentacles. That you have not been able to make a decision here before. Right? Where you have been in and out, unbalanced. It's taking you time because you're learning to accept your own defeat here also. Right? So therefore, as you move out of that story, you have to again reconsider your decision in order to make a judgment call here. Okay? Excuse me. But don't stop. Take your time. Right? Work on your decisions again. Look into it very objectively. Maybe there was something in the past that you did not really work on. That could be something to do with your hobby that you haven't paid attention to. Maybe somebody had told you something and you did not bother because, like I said, you were too busy creating injustice in your own life. Right? So right now, as you are getting out of that situation and coming in contact with your own spirituality, with your own, you're going to get a second chance, okay? But in order to get a second chance, once again, that will prove good for you. You have to again go back and reconsider maybe a past decision or a choice you had not taken. But don't stop. That's what they're saying. Say yes. Meditation brings answer. Yeah. You have to give yourself time to reconsider that decision, because that decision can be a second chance in your life to do something that you possibly had ignored before for some of you. So now it's coming back to you once again. It's giving you, universe is like giving you another chance to work on that situation. Okay, let's move into your emotions part of the story, guys. Let's see what emotions in here is talking about. So yeah, there could be emotional situation that you have to also consider here, maybe. Or like I said, that's something that you are emotionally attached to. Something to do with your emotion, we'll find out, because you got the Three of Swords right in the start of this portion, right? So there is a lot of pain. And this is again an emotional pain, a logical and emotional pain, right in your heart. And this is like a third party situation. This is from people in general, from environment, right? Something about that kind of a situation that requires you're working for a breakthrough. You want a clarity. You're moving out of that situation towards something that you know will bring you back your success as well. Divine masculine, right? But then you have the Tower in the reverse, which is where you had been averting a disaster before. That could have been a possibility of having done that because you felt emotionally attached to a situation in your life that you could not move away from, or you stopped any kind of movement. Because somewhere you could have been emotionally attached to those people who have created a lot of grief and pain in your life as well. We'll see. Okay, so therefore your success did not happen because you did not allow that success to happen. Let's see. Please talk to me about the Three of Swords here. That's when you were very focused on creating injustice for your own self. Because again, emotions was more important to you than your own justice. Yeah, the Lovers. Yeah, there has been a lot of, fight. See, Five of Wands. Yeah, and that is the reason there has been so much of pain, because people you have loved, or this relationship, this could be the twin flame, this could be your personal relationship, something that has been badly affected. Emotions has been badly affected. We'll see more. Okay, so yeah, this relationship has gone through severe, see, Five of Wands. There has been a lot of drama here. Let's see. Please talk to me about the Lovers. The Aid of Pentacles. This is where you're working to clear yourself. You're learning to master your own pain and grief over this situation. And to me, this can be either the twin flame or it can be your personal relationship. Right? That you did not, we'll see more, but you're learning to master this situation. You're learning to figure out what has happened here. You're learning to understand things better. You're reworking on this situation again, right? You're revisiting this lover situation. You want to revisit, right? So therefore, you are again, and you're this time around, okay, yeah, this is your twin flame connection. This time around, you are making sure that you work yourself in the right, like you are the master of this issue. so that you know that if there is any further problem going forward, you know how to take care of that situation. The Five of Pentacles, you have learned your lesson. You don't want to go back being depressed again over this whole situation. So in order to not be depressed again, right, in order to not feel spiritually, financially, mentally poor again, this time around, you're learning to master that and work in the right way without making any more mistakes. Yeah, you're learning from the scratch, right? So whatever you have learned before, you had to unlearn. And because you have to unlearn, you're an apprentice. You're learning everything new. But this time around, you're learning it in the right way. Please talk to me about the Ace of Swords. Oops, hold on, guys. The Ace of Cups. So you got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. There is definitely a new beginning in the pipeline. That is what you are working towards. But this time around, you are doing justice to this situation, right? Which is where the Ten of Cups, right? The Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups. This is the commitment. So you got the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Swords, right? So there are 3 tens out here. This is a major cycle closing. A major cycle closing where you have not been able to feel happy or give that cup of love to anybody in your life. Not even to your divine feminine. But this time around, because of the Ace of Swords, success is at your doorstep. Because you're closing an old chapter, which has been a very painful part of your story, the Seven of Cups, where you had been all confused about the situation, what you want to do about this. You were not getting a clarity over this situation. So this is why you are reworking on this whole situation again. So whatever you had been working on before, right, that chapter is closing because there has been a lot of pain. Yeah, the Nine of Wands, right? Where now you're coming to your senses, guys. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being honest, okay? You're coming back to your senses that you had been extremely stubborn about your own situation. So that is the reason. Because of your stubborn behavior, that could be stemming out of your pride and ego. You have to relearn everything again. Right? This is where you got confused because you had been procrastinating doing justice. You had been procrastinating telling the truth. You had been procrastinating for your success story because this chapter has to be closed before you can move out. So that's the reason that this time around, you're not going to make that mistake again. This time around, you are going to take things in a different direction. Because see, with the Tower in the reverse, it's very clear you stopped any kind of movement, any kind of shift, anything. Please talk to me about the Tower in the reverse. Because your emotions were not permitting you to make a decision here. The Empress. Yeah, you stopped your own growth. You stopped your own fertility because you could have been emotionally dependent on some situation in your life, divine masculine, from where you were not being able to clear your road, the Star. You had stopped your own destiny from flourishing. Let me put it that way. And you had been emotionally dependent. That's when you got scared and you said, if you leave that situation, right? That's why you were pushing it out and procrastinating, delaying the whole process. You did not speak the truth because you were scared that if you speak the truth, or if you tell the truth, then you have to leave that situation, which means that emotional dependency you had on somebody in your life would have to go, right? So this is where you had stopped to work on the story and did not give birth to that story, because again, this is where you're learning about your own stubbornness too. You're learning about your own mistakes, and you're learning to master those lessons from your mistakes so that you don't repeat them again in your life. Right? Please talk to me about the Empress, because this is where your understanding is going to, yeah, see, Hanged Man, yeah. This is where you had suspended everything because you were scared of leaving that situation. The Queen of Wands. You did not talk to her, the Divine Feminine. You wanted to, but you could not give birth because you were scared. You were scared because of that emotional codependency that you had over a situation that you could not throw out of your life. Please talk to me about the Hanged Man here. So you kept hanging, kept things under just suspended everything, procrastinated, delayed everything, and this is where the Sun, this is where you are liberating yourself from that energy. You're liberating yourself from that energy, the Fool. This is where you're trusting that universe will take you forward in the right direction now. In the right direction now, guys. Oh boy. Okay, let's look at emotions here. Please talk to me about emotions here. The situation will improve. That's beautiful. So whatever you had been feeling drained of, guys, will improve. Remain positive. Yeah, that's what they're telling you. So you have to liberate yourself from that situation because you know you have made this mistake here. It's a big mistake in your life and you're feeling that regret. Let me tell you. You're feeling that sense of regret in yourself. It's a big mistake. Right? So this is where you want to start fresh again. You want to start fresh. You want to look after yourself. You want to be positive. You want to have a different energetic level in yourself. You want to feel good with life in general, right? And the situation will improve. But just keep working towards it, guys, and take the guidance in the right direction. And work towards this energy, and we'll move forward from here and we'll see more as days go by. But you're definitely showing, and I'm so happy that you're definitely showing a lot of sign of improvement. That's beautiful. That's damn good news, guys. Keep it up. Enjoy this reading. Till then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Khuda Hafiz.